Okay, Mark, the recording has started.
I can't hear you, Mark.
Geez, I was going through all my whole dictation here, and I was I was on mute. But thank you guys for our for starting off for our new semester for September 2020 to June 2021. We're going to we have a basic agenda that we're going to be doing for today due to the fact it's our first meeting. We're going to be running through the crime stats. We're going to also review the new laws. If Vidal, if you have the new laws that's available, if we can review that, because quite a few laws I heard came down. If we can identify the locations where the cameras are have been installed, and after that, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be open up the floors for the members and for the community first, and the members to have some questions. And you know, if you also, if you have things to add to it, please add on to the meeting. Vidal, were you able to get the to see the crime stats that we have for the 77th precinct up to last week?
I do have the crime stats. I don't have the information in regards to the laws that you're referring to. As far as the cameras, I don't have that information as well. I do have the camp stat numbers up for the week. We have the date is from September 21st to September 27th. This week we have 0 murders. We have 1 rape, 3 robberies, 4 felony assaults, 4 burglaries, 5 grand larcenies, and 1 grand larceny of an auto. The crime prevention aspect of it, what I do want to touch on are the burglaries that we've had. They've been predominantly package thefts in lobbies, and in some instances we've had the perpetrator break into the lobby, force their way into the lobby actually, and go into storage rooms that are usually kept in the basement and targeting bicycles. So something like that as far as the crime prevention aspect of it. I want you guys to focus on making sure that your lobby doors are locked. Don't just rely on turning it back to them. Make sure that they are secure and locked. Contact your super or landlord. Make sure that the locks are working properly, and they install locks that are not so easily forced open. They have to make sure the frame of the door is square and tight, so no one can actually just force their way into it. Cameras also help to deter these criminals going into the lobbies. So visible cameras and signage saying that there is camera has been a deterrent as well. Also, we're having a problem in Sector David with break-ins into vehicles. That's where grand larcenies, which we had 5. The majority of those are people leaving items in the vehicles. So I want to touch base a little bit. and prevention part of it. It's real simple. Don't leave stuff in the car. Windows are being broken and they're rummaging through the vehicle. Doesn't matter, as something as small as your phone charger might attract their eye to getting into your vehicle. So definitely try not to leave anything in the vehicle, and if you have to, make sure it's not visible. But we've had in Second Davis someone going around breaking windows and going into the vehicle, rummaging through the vehicles, and removing items from the vehicle. Something even as small as loose change, that's visible. They're targeting that as well. So definitely, I want you guys to spread the word in regards to leaving stuff in the vehicle. Going back into residential burglaries, we're going to have now we have climate change, so our air conditioners are going to be coming out of the windows. Make sure that your window locks are working properly. When you remove the air conditioners from your windows now. So I just wanted to touch base on that as well, because I know it's going to be getting a little cooler, and we're going to be removing the air conditioners from the windows. And let's make sure that when you do, that the windows actually lock is working. And if you do decide to leave your air conditioner in the window, make sure your air conditioner is mounted properly, that someone cannot push it in from the outside and access your apartment. All right, and we are available here at the precinct. Crime Prevent, myself and my partner, Officer Marsman, are available for security surveys of the apartment. So if you need help and not sure that your air conditioner is mounted properly, we would gladly make an appointment, go over to your house and make sure and give you a security survey of overview of the security that you have in your residence. We don't do the buildings per se. That has to be requested by the building manager or building owner, but we do security surveys for individual units. That a resident can authorize us to do. Any questions on what I brought up?
Question in reference to the burglaries. I see that we have a more than 50% increase so far year to date. Are those burglaries something that you just touched on?
Yeah, that's what I touched on.
Okay. So those are the ones that's happening in the lobbies.
Yeah, predominantly happening in lobbies, and into buildings and storage areas in the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So they're accessing the building from the main door, either buzzing or forcing their way in, or they're following people into the building.
Okay. And I see that we had an increase in rapes also.
I'm looking here. We have a 16.7% increase in rapes. Yes, that's correct. For the year, there's a 14 from year to date compared to 12 year to date last year. That's correct.
Mm-hmm. I mean, due to the fact that we have the COVID, we have less people on the street. Is that the reason why? That
I can't really comment on. I haven't actually looked personally into the actual rape reports to be able to answer that properly.
Okay. Community residents, anyone have a question? Public Safety Committee members, do anyone has a question in reference to the crime stats? No? Mr. Atkins, you don't have a question?
No, not so much a question, Mr. Thurton. This is Robert Callahan.
Hey, Robert.
Just sort of want to, for the record, since we're recording, make a comment that that an increase of 16% on 2 and 12 and 14 is it's hard to infer a trend based off of something of that small of a nature. So I understand that we're talking about something of a very sensitive and serious nature, but it's such a small number of incidences to begin with. To look at statistics in that way is not totally valid. Just a comment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Yeah, I agree with you on that aspect. Yeah, because the numbers are just the numbers. Anyone else?
Mark,
Yes.
a comment. I had just come back in the meeting. I had heard nothing, and I looked, and the meeting dropped. So I'm not prepared to answer anything because I haven't heard anything.
Well, Police Officer Vidal just went over the crime stats, and it was just burglary. Seems like there was there's increase in rape. And did you have any questions or reference to the crime stats at all?
Well, no, I downloaded them from last weekend, the ones ending on the 20th, and basically I'm just still looking at it. It says week to date is what I'm looking at. Felonious assault is the only one that's really up, and that's up to 4. That's up from 1 from a year ago for this week. And
Mr. Atkins, this ought to be done. We actually have updated. You said you have it up
through the 20th.
On the 20th. We have ending up to the 27th is up now.
Well, this is what was on the website, so I'll yield to your superior statistics.
So, I just went over. Unfortunately, I know you weren't able to listen to me, but the numbers that I went through, just to clarify to everybody, the week that I was referring to is week 39, which is September 21st through the 27th.
Right, and then I have week 38.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question.
Wait, before I got dropped, I did hear you say one thing. Is it that you don't have the information about the camera locations?
That's correct. I don't have that information.
Okay, thank you.
Someone else had a question?
Yes, Marva Henry, community board member. I just wanted to ask Officer Vidal if the police department is making a distinction between burglaries in the sense of actually entering the living space of the residents as opposed to the vestibule, lobby areas, like as Officer Vidal stated, storage areas of a building. Because I think when everyone thinks of burglary, we're thinking of someone kicking in your apartment door, knocking you over the head, stealing your personal items in your residence. Is the police department making a distinction between those different types of burglaries, lobby areas, vestibules, as opposed to your personal living spaces?
I couldn't hear too clearly what your question was. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're asking if there's a difference of the type of burglaries that are occurring?
Correct, yes. Living spaces versus lobby area, vestibule, stolen packages. That's what it seems like you're saying. The burglaries are up for stealing packages that are delivered to buildings.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's driving our burglary numbers. Our majority lobby burglaries, in which the lobbies are being entered by the perpetrators, and they're targeting packages, and they're targeting storage rooms in the basement or in the lobby area, where residents keep their either bicycles or personal items that they can't fit in their apartments.
That makes sense.
Right. So are the numbers being separated at all by the police department?
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
Yes. Are the numbers being separated at all by the police department? Like how many of these burglaries are home invasions as opposed to the lobby taking packages?
No, yeah, each burglary is reported individually and is handled, on its face. It's not grouped all together as.
You don't need to change your plan. You don't use a lot of medication. You see, you
No,
see,
well, they send off.
Jordan, Miss Jordan, you need to mute yourself.
to change you.
Okay, and all right. Is there any other questions in reference to our crime stats?
I have a question when it comes to these stolen packages.
Yes.
Hi, so I know that we're grouping them as burglaries. Are any of these perpetrators caught? Just because I feel like when a package goes missing, it could be literally anyone. I think possibly a relationship between police officers and landlords and residents, and possibly delivery couriers like Amazon and FedEx and UPS, to develop new protocols to maybe call before a package is delivered, or other resources like, the installment of cameras in certain buildings. I know a lot of buildings lack the tech assets like those things. I just want to know if there's other sort of precautions in place other than just sort of the onus being on residents, especially if someone is, possibly at work. It's sort of little they can do from a citizen perspective.
Sure.
Or if they're elderly.
One thing that you can do is if you are utilizing Amazon, you can use the Amazon lockers. And if you're not expecting to be home to accept deliveries, you can utilize Amazon locker. The closest one that we have here, it's on Brooklyn Avenue, I believe, and Atlantic Avenue on the 7-Eleven. There's an Amazon locker there, which is close to the residents here. I think that would probably be the best place to receive your packages. Also, there's a new feature now that a lot of companies are utilizing. If you are ordering multiple items, they will hold the items and deliver it on a day that you actually are home. So if you're expected to be home on a Monday, Tuesday, you can actually have the package delivered on that specific date. Also, in a building, if there's someone that's trusted that's retired and is home all the time, then you can, the residents can get together and maybe dedicate a person to receive packages and hold those packages for the residents, the rest of the residents in the building. So that's also a good deterrent. I've heard of residents actually utilizing bodegas and having the packages delivered to the corner bodega, and they're picking up from the bodega. If it works, it works. That's not something I would recommend, but I've heard of other residents actually utilizing that. Those are the things that I think that someone can individually do in order to deter their packages from being stolen. And in regards to arrests, we have had made arrests in regards to package thefts. Cameras are a big deterrent and actually a useful tool in catching these burglars. If you follow us on Twitter and Facebook, we actually post a lot of these criminals that are captured on camera. We'll post it on our Twitter page when we are out looking for them. So definitely follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Also, I want to commend Officers Mencilla, Officer Love, and Officer Lopez, which last week actually apprehended a robber who robbed at knife point a delivery bicyclist while he was making his food delivery. They actually robbed him of his wallet and his bicycle. And Officer Mencilla and Officer Love canvassed the area and apprehended the perpetrator. And recovered the bicycle and some of the property, the victim's property. So I do want to commend them and that this happened on September 21st last week. So in regards to that, we are getting these guys.
So my name is Tiffany Hyatt and I'm new here. So what is your Facebook, whatever? How do I find you on
You can
Facebook?
go to 7777 Precinct. We're at NYPD 77 Precinct, PCT, for Twitter. And NYPD 77 Precinct for at NYPD 77 Precinct for Facebook.
At NYPD 77 Precinct on Facebook?
That's correct, yes. PCT.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll turn it over to you, Mark.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other questions, guys? Okay, so we don't have any information about the new laws that's recently passed. That's correct, right, Vidal? Okay, and the camera locations, we don't have any information on that, right?
I don't have that for you, unfortunately.
Okay,
Maybe Officer Green or Officer Pierre Louise might have that information.
okay, all right. I guess we'll follow up with an email on that, and so we can be better prepared for the next meeting on that we're going to be having in October. Okay, all right.
I have a question real quick, and he may not be able to answer it. But I have a concern about patrol. Is there any information that you could provide to us about patrol of the neighborhoods, like foot patrol or more patrol? I know that they sent some officers maybe to Brooklyn South during the holiday season. Are they going to do that for Brooklyn North? You know, is 77 Precinct going to be one of them that actually receive more foot patrol?
That's something the commanding officer would have to answer as far as what he's going to utilize his resources during that time. I don't have the answer to that for you right now. We do have more officers at the precinct, so we do have a lot more officers there, more officers on patrol now.
Okay.
So the 77 precinct has received additional officers?
Yeah, there's Operation All Out, where officers that were assigned to inside roles were put out onto assigned to different precincts, and we did receive some of those officers.
We would have to wait to speak to the CO for us to be able to know if they're going to be putting on more patrol in the neighborhoods, because they're not being seen. So that's a question.
Yeah, I cannot answer as to how he's going to utilize those resources during the holidays, as your question.
Okay. Do you know if the officers that are sent there off their details, are they actually there permanently, or are they going back to their details?
They are here still. So that as far as permanent, I can't answer, but they still are here.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that foot patrol would also minimize the thefts in the lobbies as well. If the police were to be seen on foot patrol, that would also minimize there on, you see them a lot on Kingston and Eastern Parkway, but you don't see anywhere else. It's like, we're not even seen.
Right. But one thing that I want to say as far as package theft, like you said, I know a lot of package thefts go unreported because people feel it's something minor. I just lost something that the company's going to replace, so I'm not going to report it. But it is important that you report these thefts, because then we know where to put these resources. If there's been 10 packages stolen in one block and 10 packages go unreported that they were stolen, we're not going to know that there's a problem on that block, and we're not going to know to put the resources on that block. So no matter how small you think the problem might be, because the company that you ordered the item from is just going to replace it, it's important that you let us know and report it.
Officer Vidal,
Yes.
I'd like to ask a question. One of my neighbors runs a business It's the UPS store on Bergen Street, just off of Nostrand Avenue.
Yeah.
And they said they had difficulty in reporting a crime, though the officers basically said that it was out of their hands. The UPS truck came to make their pickups. They had taken various packages and placed them inside pouches, and it was on the truck. A man was standing in the line as though he was waiting to be serviced inside the store. And then the last moment, he just walks up to the truck, snatched the pouch, and walked off with it. The pouch had several packages in it.
Okay.
And
So something like that you're describing. Obviously, I wasn't there, so neither of us know exactly what happened. But based on what you're describing, there seems that UPS took possession of the property within their truck, so they would be the ones that would have to make the report.
okay, that's what the proprietor of the store said. They said that the officers told them that they had nothing to do with the store anymore. But I
That's
don't
what
even
it
know.
sounds like from what you just described to me.
Right, and that's what it sounded like to what was described to me also. But I'm knowing that that is a transshipment point, and that a lot of stuff happens with as far as foot traffic on that intersection. Just like the young lady spoke about the amount of officers seen patrolling on Eastern Parkway in Kingston, but that's because they get an international designation. And we've been trying to get pointed out that there are corners within the precinct that have a lot of foot traffic that we would like to see more standing officers. And
Okay.
at one time, there were officers posted on New York and St. Mark's. That didn't
Yeah.
help that didn't help the fellow who was murdered on that corner. But these are the kind of things that we're looking to try to get within the precinct. Another lady brought up a point about there was a higher incidence of assaults of women in the far eastern end of the precinct, and I don't know if that was discussed in the in your crime stats, which were more up to date than mine. But these were things that were reported on the Citizen. I know that the police department doesn't like to use those statistics, but people are claiming that they were molested and in some cases harmed. So all this is the point of communication. What can we get done about that? Is there any way that the next meeting we can have the CO and the community affairs officers present also?
But I'll definitely let them know that you want them attending the next meeting. And Mark
Thank you.
does do a good job in sending out the emails too. So
I didn't say that he didn't.
yeah, but I'll let them know that you want them present at the next meeting.
Okay. I'm just saying that normally when we used to meet at the precinct, there would be 2, 3, 4 of you present, and we would have all different levels of coverage. That's basically what I'm asking for.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you.
Yes, we're gonna open up the floors for comments, but I just want two things. Vidal, are you calling in or are you logged in with the computer?
The computer, I don't have a camera or microphone on my desktop, so I try to log in with the computer, but I am calling in right now.
Oh, okay, because all right, we just wanted to put in the website there for the community board. And also, if there's anything that's sensitive that you want to discuss, and you don't want to do it publicly, because these meetings are going to be recorded and posted on the community board website. You can discuss that with Vidal. Vidal, how do we? For going forward, how are we going to have that done for guests that comes in that's participating? How are they going to be able to contact you guys? Are you going to give us your someone specific email or telephone?
Well, this is new to me as well, just like it's new to you. So I'm pretty sure that our community affairs officers, they'll be willing to share their emails and or maybe even their cell phone numbers or their office numbers.
Okay. On the chat, I know, thank you, Marva. Marva put in the website for Community Board 8 and also their Facebook location. Thank you, Marva, for that. So we're gonna open up the floors for any more questions, concerns? We discussed the foot patrol. We had some concerns about graffiti.
Yeah, but she's not here. She had I don't see her on here. She did have a complaint about the graffiti on, is there any type of unit that's going to be dealing with the graffiti on the stores and on buildings? And there used to be a unit, but since COVID, nothing is happening. That's what was her concern.
Excellent.
Vidal?
Actually, as far as graffiti, if there was a program that you can actually report to 311 and actually get the graffiti cleaned up for free by the city, I am not sure if that's actually still in effect because of the budget cuts. My understanding was that I don't know if anyone of you remember seeing the graffiti-free trucks driving around, and they would power wash or paint the buildings and or stores for free. But that's something that the store owners have to request. I'm not sure if they're going to start up the program again. It has been on pause. We and here at the precinct, including myself and my partner, have gone out personally, actually, and have had paint donated and actually cleaned graffiti ourselves. And with permission of the owners, would be willing to, and the community, maybe we can work together and get some of the graffiti cleaned up ourselves.
That sounds like a good offer, Vidal. But Michelle did chime in and said that the graffiti operation is on pause by the mayor's office. But you're saying that we can possibly link up and do something on our own with the community?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Definitely.
Okay. Do you? I mean, does the 77th precinct have the resources for the power wash and so forth?
I don't have a power washer, but I can definitely get some paint and some paintbrushes and rollers.
All right. I mean, with that, yeah, we definitely need the buy-in from the owners, because they need to be responsible also. So we'll see how we can do that.
Yeah, definitely.
When I was at Sector David meeting, someone had mentioned about Lincoln Park. I know that's a little cross section of the precincts, but they were concerned about there was a murder in the park during the summer, and they were also concerned that they were looking for more police presence. Do you have any input on that?
That I'll have to bring back to this here. Lincoln Terrace Park.
Yes.
Yes, there were 2 homicides actually in the park. There was one in the handball court that you're referring to, probably, and then
Right.
it was one by the tennis courts.
Mm-hmm. I mean, does that? I mean, due to the fact that we had 2 murders over there, does that raise a red flag for that?
There have been increased patrols in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And our NCOs are giving that area special attention as well.
Okay. When I'm talking about NCOs, are we going to be starting back the NCO meetings anytime soon? By virtual?
Yes, we actually are.
Great.
We are going to be having them. I believe they're going to be in open areas in parks again. So real soon we'll be posting the dates and times. Definitely follow us on Twitter for that information, and I'll see if we can get that information to you, Mark, so as you can post it up and email it.
Okay, all right, so we're looking for the month of October for that, or, because I mean, October is like is the transition between able to still do outdoor activities, and then we're closed off altogether from doing that.
Okay. I'll try to get you the exact dates.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you an email, but I have to reach out to the NCO sergeant for the exact dates for those NCO meetings.
Okay. I mean, is it is it open now, the NCOs, and it's just waiting for the precincts to set up the dates, or you're waiting from the word from the upper officials to give you the okay to do the
No,
meetings?
we actually did have the third quarter meetings. We had one in Lincoln Terrace Park. We had one at Stroud Park. We had one in on Bergen and Nostrand.
Mm-hmm.
So the sectors did have their meetings. They had
Right.
them in open
Oh,
areas,
yes.
parks, practicing social distancing, and they are going to have a fourth quarter meeting, and they're probably going to be in the same manner.
Okay.
I don't want to give you the wrong dates and times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But team, what happened is that during the summer we had for the NCOs, the neighbor community officers had the meeting, and for the month of August it was done outdoors, as Vidal had mentioned. It was the first time that was being done due to the fact of the COVID, as you mentioned. Since we don't have the deputy inspector here, is there anything else, guys, that you had wanted to discuss or bring up? Lynn, you have to unmute yourself. Michelle, could you unmute Lynn for me? Maybe she might have something. I see you over there, Lynn.
Yes. Shirley Montezir is coming through my phone, so she has a question.
Yes, I have actually two concerns. One is sexual activities taking place on St. Mark's Avenue in front of Bramwell Park, the darkest part of the park, where the lights aren't really shining, in parked cars, okay, and also the noise from the motorcycles coming through the block late at night. I mean, really, late. And I don't know if anything can be done about the noise, but I feel that if they could have patrols around the park, at night when it's dark, to sort of like curtail these activities that are going on.
Okay, so my understanding is that on the St. Mark's side of Bramwell Park, that people are having sex in the vehicles. And
Hold on, Shirley, hold on.
there are motorcycles driving through the park after hours.
No, not through the park, through the street. Through the street, but really, really loud, doing their whatever they're doing.
So it's motorcycles going down St. Mark's at night and
Loud.
and then sexual activities in cars.
And the parked cars, yep. At the darkest part of the park. Not in
on St. Mark's.
On St. Mark's.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring that to our NCOs.
Okay.
Thank you for letting us know.
Okay.
Officer Vidal,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to add in that the motorcycles also are on Bergen Street, motorbikes and mopeds. But I think the source, a lot of the problems that the people on St. Mark's are having is coming from a house on my block, 1292 Bergen Street.
1292 Bergen Street.
It appears that they have a repair. It's become a hangout.
Okay.
But I mean, these guys are going up and down the streets the wrong way with traffic. And I know that there's another thing that's been going on. Wednesday, I was almost struck 4 times while I was by a motorized bicycle or a bicycle. while I was dangerously walking on the sidewalk.
On what street?
Bergen Street, Brooklyn Avenue, Lincoln Place, between Nostrand and New York, and I forget the fourth occurrence. It may have been Bergen Street again. People just are riding their bikes on the sidewalk, and 3 to 4 times the people were definitely motorized.
Okay.
It was a motorized bike or it's a motorcycle.
Okay.
But as far as the motorcycles, a lot of the activity is coming from that one address.
All right. I'll pass this information on to our neighborhood coordination officers.
Thank you.
I would like to add that that's not just that end. It's near the precinct. It's up the block from the precinct. It's Bergen and Rochester. Is Ralph Avenue. It's Buffalo. You hear the same motorcycles. They start up there. They're on the streets. Same thing, like you said. You can't walk down the sidewalk. Because sometimes they're on the sidewalk. But it's seriously, they're on the sidewalk more than they're in the actual street at times. And it's over there. And usually when they get to the corner of Rochester, they turn up so they don't pass the precinct, and then they come around again, but they're on Bergen and they're out there the same way. So you hear it all times. The whole weekend, that's all I heard was the motorcycles, and they're up and down on the street. So it's
Okay,
over here as well. And
I'll let them know. This is Bergen, Rochester to Buffalo and Ralph, right?
yes, that was something also when Mr. Atkins talked about earlier about when I was assaults with females. I'm the one that had brought that up before. That's why I said there's no patrol, because literally, I know, like I said, they don't like the Citizen Act, but I don't go on walks around my neighborhood with my child anymore because my Citizen app literally bops every couple of minutes that a woman is being assaulted. And it's scary that you can't walk in the street. And I come from a family of law enforcement, and I'm not scared to be in my street, but I'm scared now because I'm a female with a daughter that I don't want to be assaulted walking outside in the street. So that's something that's concerning, that I don't see any cops outside.
No, I can't speak as to the Citizen app.
I understand that. I also, coming from background of law enforcement, I get what I know you can't tell me anything because you're the PO, but I was something that you would bring back to your COs because it's not safe.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more comments or questions? Okay. The people who just joined, y'all have any questions or comments, concerns? Okay. All right. Sounds like we're pretty good for this first time. It wasn't bad at all. But yeah, hopefully the deputy inspector will be able to participate, and more of the public safety officers will participate on the next call. And our next meeting will be on Monday, October the 26th. And we'll work out the little glitches for the next meeting. But I want to thank everybody for participating. And I guess, Michelle, is there anything else? You good? Okay. All right. So we're good, guys. Now we can hear you.
But I can't hear you guys. That's the thing.
That's okay. All right. All right. We'll as a team, we'll get together and summarize what went on and everything else. All right, guys, as we did previously.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Guys, thank you, Vidal.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right.